I am your host Aswam in my new video. When Labor Day started, U.S. Department of Labor.
Labor Day was first observed informally by labor activists in particular states in the late 1800s. New York was the first state to introduce a bill recognizing Labor Day. But Oregon was the first to actually codify it into law in 1887. By the end of 1887, Colorado, Massachusetts, New Jersey, and New York had adopted a similar strategy. According to labor historian Joshua Freeman, emeritus professor at the City University of New York, the holiday came into being as unions were starting to regain momentum following the 1870s slump. According to Freeman, two occurrences that occurred in New York City coincided to create Labor Day. First, the now defunct Central Labor Union was formed as an umbrella body for unions across trades and ethnic groups. In addition, the city hosted a meeting of the Knights of Labor, the then largest national labor convention, replete with a sizable parade. However, because the parade was on a Tuesday at the beginning of September, many employees were unable to go. The conference was a big success, and from the beginning of September, unions all over the country began hosting their own labor holidays, typically on the first Monday of the month. Being involved at first was a pretty risky move because you may get fired, Friedman said. What Labor Day means unions were battling for quite concrete improvements in their working conditions at the time Labor Day was established, according to Freeman. The majority of workers currently enjoy an 8-hour workday, but they had to battle hard for it. And Labor Day was an opportunity for them to come together to discuss their priorities and for the country to acknowledge the contributions workers make to society. But there was also a more radical political thread to the Labor Day celebration, Freeman says. The Knights of Labor were exploring the idea that what we call the capitalist or industrial system was fundamentally exploitative, he said. It introduced kind of inequities and inequalities, not just in wealth, but also in power. So they wanted a greater say in society for working people. By the evolution of Labor Day, the extreme politics surrounding Labor Day have mellowed over time. The majority of nations recognize their workers on May 1st with a holiday called May Day, which also has roots in the late 19th century and the struggle for the 8-hour workday. For a long time, Freeman says, Americans celebrated both May Day and Labor Day, but eventually, Labor Day began to be seen as the more moderate of the two holidays in comparison to May Day, which was originally established by the Marxist International Socialist Congress. By the turn of the 20th century, calls for transforming American life. They pretty much disappear from Labor Day, Freeman said. As more and more employers began to give all their workers the day off, can you wear white after Labor Day? The extreme politics surrounding Labor Day have become more moderate over time. May Day, observed on May 1st, is a global holiday honoring workers. Its roots can be found in the late 19th century and the struggle for the 8-hour workday. Freeman claims that Americans used to observe both May Day and Labor Day for a very long time. But over time, Labor Day came to be viewed as a moderate celebration, as opposed to May Day, which was first instituted by the Marxist International Socialist Congress. By the turn of the 20th century, Freeman claimed calls for changing American life very nearly disappear from Labor Day, as more and more firms started to grant all of their employees a day off. Thank you for watching. Kindly subscribe my channel for more videos.